So hello dear students, welcome to Bajirao Ias Academy Interview Guidance Program 2023. So in this lecture we are going to discuss about the cybersecurity regime in India. Now with the evolving technology, there's also a changing landscape of security architecture in India. Okay, so there were instances of cybercrime in different states and targeting different organizations and institutions, even both public and private organizations. So with the rapid increase in technology, with the rapid change in technology, so we have seen increasing attacks on cyber security related incidents or cyber threats, even incidents like cyber terrorism, cyber warfare, ransomware, and recent Pegasus issue is also in news. So therefore the overall objective of this particular lecture is to understand what exactly is the meaning of cybersecurity. What does it mean when we talk about cybersecurity? How cybersecurity is very important for a country like India? So what are the challenges so that are in the way of cybersecurity, in ensuring cybersecurity, and what should be the way forward in this context, particularly in India? So we will understand everything in a very detailed manner. Now if you look at the cybersecurity like instance, so the number of people who have access to mobile phones, internet, computer has significantly increased, and recent times there were attempts, there was a large scale attempt to substantially increase financial inclusion in India. So therefore access to internet has substantially increased every day by day. So if you take this into data, so there were around 800 million people who have access to internet. So despite this untapped potential, India is already the second largest online market around worldwide. So if you look at the online market, so online market is one of the most vulnerable for cyber attacks, for cyber terrorism or ransomware, everything. So India has a large potential in terms of online markets and access to internet, but this market is largely untapped. So despite having such untapped potential, India is already the second largest online market worldwide. And if you talk about the cyber attacks on India, so India already in the third position worldwide in number of cyber attacks, even the state sponsored cyber attacks, even the non-state sponsored cyber attacks. So therefore already although there was an advancement in technology, the internet has brought with it all related benefits, but has also led to an increase in cyber crime which is affecting the people. Okay, so no doubt people have access to internet, people have been using the online instruments. Okay, so India has a large potential with respect to online market. So despite these potential benefits, there are also negative consequences in terms of regular cyber attacks, cyber threats. So this has been posing a significant threat for us. So therefore recently we have been hearing about the Pegasus snooping scandal. Okay, so earlier in lectures we have also discussed about this Pegasus issue. So what this Pegasus issue, which has been spying the activities of the leaders, politicians and journalists across the world. So this Pegasus is actually a software which is developed by an Israeli company. So therefore recently there were attempts like Pegasus snooping scandal, WannaCry attack. So they have shown the vulnerability of India towards for cybercrime. Okay, so it actually shows India's vulnerability to cybercrimes. Now in this context, it is very important for a country like India that we need to protect our critical information infrastructure. So we very often hear about critical information infrastructure. So what does this critical information infrastructure means? It actually involves healthcare, education, water, communication, transportation, and space and data, cloud, energy, food security, banking, finance. So everything is part of critical information infrastructure. In the context or in the backdrop of increasing these cybersecurity threats, it is very important for us that we need to strengthen protection to our critical information infrastructure. Now we need to understand the recent cyber attacks or security related incidents on critical information infrastructure. So there's a timeline which is being provided here. For example, when we talk about the power attacks on power, the cyber attacks on power. So malware attack causes 10-hour blackout in Mumbai Thane. So this was the example. So that actually took place in the year 2022 itself. Okay. So a malware attack that has caused 10-hour blackout in Mumbai Thane. Secondly, when we talk about aviation, okay, so aviation also in the year 2021 February, Air India data servers targeted by cyber attack affecting 4.5 million customers. Similarly, in telecom, February 2021, over 2 million Airtel users personal data has been compromised. And after that, within aviation in the year 2022, ransomware attack grounds SpiceJet flights. Passengers stranded for 4 hours. And within oil and energy sector, Oil India Limited suffers ransomware attacks which knocks off companies' IT systems. And disaster management, Goa flood monitoring system hit by ransomware. So banking, Indian banks reported 248 successful data breaches. So in this context, no sector has been free from, or no sector has been protected from these cyber attacks. So therefore there's a need to protect our critical information infrastructure. Banking, aviation, energy, power, every sector is being targeted. Even the disaster management infrastructure is also being targeted by these ransomware related incidents. So therefore there's a need to protect critical information infrastructure of India. Now in this context, we have to understand various threats and challenges to cybersecurity in India. So what are the various threats and challenges? So the first and foremost threat that we need to discuss is cyber terrorism. Okay, so cyber terrorism is one of the most potential threats to the global peace, and that has gained a lot of impetus after globalization and recent advancements in science and technology. So this is being used for recruitment and targeted attacks across different parts of the world. So therefore it is premeditated, politically motivated attack against the information. This is cyber terrorism. And after that, we need to talk about digital data threat. Okay, so this is also another threat or challenge. So growing online transactions have generated bigger incentives for cyber criminals. Okay, now there's a significant rise in online transactions every day. For example, if you look at India's digital economy, so India is number one in terms of total digital transactions across the world. So this provides a lot of incentives for scammers, a lot of incentives for cyber criminals, because in India the problem is people lack awareness, people lack the financial literacy, and that is where it has been incentivizing the cyber criminals to take advantage of this lack of literacy. Okay, so besides establishments looking to mine data, so what does it mean when they say mining data? So mining data means, so they will have access to customer information, critical information, and and they'll also have generic market information. So this is what mining data. So they will have access to critical information, and this critical information will provide them certain advantage. And recently there's also a trend that has been developing, that they also creating their own intellectual property. Okay, so for itself an attractive target. So this is how the cyber crime has been evolving over a period of time. So after that, we need to talk about the cyber crime. So cyber crime actually involves actions by nation state or international organizations to attack and attempt to damage another nation's computers or information networks. So usually China and North Korea used to do this kind of a cyber warfare, and cyber warfare is also an evolving and a new warfare that countries have been increasingly adopting. Okay, so this we have seen recently in the context of Russia-Ukraine war. So after that, the cyber infrastructure concerns also a major threat or challenge. because most equipment in technology systems are vulnerable to cyber threats just like any other connected system. Okay, so this is also another concern for the cyber security. And after that, the government has actually established National Critical Information Infrastructure Protection Center. So please remember this. So when you are answering a question, you just have to mention about this, the government measures which have taken to curb or to prevent the cyber crime. Okay, so the government has launched National Critical Information Infrastructure Protection Center to protect critical information infrastructure. So it is yet to identify and implement measures to protect the critical information infrastructure. Even though the government has launched this protection center, critical information protection center, but the center has to yet to implement the provisions, measures to protect critical information infrastructure. So this is another major challenge in this context. So after that, we need to understand major initiatives that were taken by the government in this context to enhance cyber security. Okay, so the government has launched various initiatives. For example, the Information Act 2000 was also launched. Okay, so this Information Act was further amended in the year 2008. So this is actually considered as the primary law to deal with cybercrime and digital commerce in India. Oh, okay. Or otherwise it is known as the Information Technology Act 2000. Now after that, the National Cyber Security Policy 2013 is also another policy measure that was taken by the government. Okay, so this policy has actually provides vision and strategic direction for protect national cyberspace. Okay, so the government has also launched CERTIN. Okay, CERTIN means Computer Emergency Response Team India. Now CERTIN at the state level and even at the central level, there were also different institutions. They work in a cooperative and collaborative manner with different stakeholders who are involved in cyber security framework. So CERTIN has been operational since 2004. Okay, so this is considered as national level nodal agency for responding to computer security incidents and when they occur. Okay, so whenever there were computer security related incidents, this CERTIN will respond in an appropriate manner. Now after that, the Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center has also been launched. Okay, so this is also known as I4C. Now this is actually an apex coordination center to deal with cyber crimes. Now the center has also launched Cyber Swachhta Kendra. So this was launched in the year 2017. So Cyber Swachhta Kendra is actually a platform for users to analyze and clean their systems for various viruses, malware and trojans. So these are the major initiatives that were launched by the central government. Okay, so you have to remember I4C, Cyber Swachhta Kendras, CERTIN, National Cyber Security Policy and the Information Technology Act 2000. So these are the major policy measures that were taken by the government of India to deal with the cyber security. Okay, cybercrime. So in this context, we need to briefly discuss about the way forward as well. So what should be the way forward? Yes, India is vulnerable to cyber security. India is vulnerable to cybercrime. So in this context, what should be the way forward? How to deal with the cybercrime? So firstly, we need to talk about building capabilities. We need to build capabilities, right? So that is a major problem. We lack the capacity building measures. Okay, so this is actually an urgent need to build capabilities or capacity for application, equipment and infrastructure testing. And after that, we need to talk about the human resources end as well. Okay, so immediate attention has to be given to human resource development. So we lack the substantial amount of human resources or skilled workforce to deal and detect the possible cyber crime related incidents or cyber attacks, so which would increase the number of experts who can effectively manage the cyber security of the country. So the R&D is also a very important aspect that we need to look into if we wanted to really curb or prevent the terror attacks. So therefore, in this context, investments have to be made in research and development to develop more innovative technologies and address the increasing cybersecurity threats as well. And policy and governance Okay, so it is important to bring a robust policy and effectively implement the same. So we need to have a robust policy, and this policy should not have any confusion. So it is very clear on its provisions, the roles and responsibilities of the various stakeholders and institutions, organizations. Okay, so therefore a smooth functioning and better coordination among different departments and different stakeholders across the country can be ensured. Apart from that, we need to have awareness. The financial literacy among the people is very important, because when people lack the financial literacy, they are the major targets of these cyber attacks. So therefore awareness is very important in this context, and cyber swachhta kendras can undertake the necessary awareness among the people about these cyber attacks. And apart from the financial literacy, we need to look at the coordination aspect as well, the coordination between different institutions, stakeholders, center and state governments, and involving the private sector as well. So all these factors have to be taken into consideration to deal with cyber security related threats, okay, or cyber crime or any other cyber attacks. So that's all for this lecture and this session. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you have any doubts, so please write those doubts in the comment section. And even if you have any suggestions, please also write those suggestions in the comment section, and also like the video if you really like our work. Thank you.